housekeeping world. Welcome to this week's video segment. I have with me today Aaron Linfoot, the General Manager of Meredith Lodging. Aaron, thanks for being with us today.
My pleasure.
Why do you think housekeeping is so important?
Housekeeping is one of the most vital roles of any company. So many things pass through their hands. Similar to a wagon wheel, in that all these wheels have the centerpiece,
Okay.
and the cog, and everything starts and ends there. And by way of example, that's with new homeowners, with guests. If you want to get repeat guests, if you want to get new guests, they want to have homes that are taken care of. If you want owners, if you want both retain owners and acquire new ones, you want to make sure that the properties are well kept. Housekeepers spend the most time in the property out of any department. They're the ones that are going to be there cleaning on their hands and knees, walking it, including inspection, quality control. And they're the ones that can report things, which then makes the owner happy, it makes the maintenance team happy. It ends up creating happy owners as well as happy guests, and you want both happy. And at the end, you want to make sure that the company's happy as well. So from a start to end and just the finish, the service really in the housekeeping department is one of the most crucial roles. And if you can get them to buy in, you have an amazing, well-oiled machine.
Wow, amazing, cool. What would you consider to be the biggest challenge of housekeeping?
One of the biggest challenges in the housekeeping world is to make sure everyone buys into the product that you're delivering.
Okay.
So many times, I've seen with some companies, and we're working on it as well, the housekeeping department kind of becomes that one that's just out there. They do their service, and they're not really a part of, for all intents and purposes, the bigger picture. Making sure that they feel a part of the team, making sure that both from an event piece, the inclusion, then translates into better service, getting them to buy in. If you provide training, making sure that they realize the value for it, both for them in the short and long term. Another big challenge is retention. Mm-hmm. You want to make sure that you don't have to retrain every month. Would be horrible. But out here, every year even is challenging.
Yeah.
Bringing in new staff, there's an extreme amount of time and translates into money, but investment placed into each individual, such as bringing out consultants to train them. And it's one that you want to do, but you want the retention piece to be there as well, and the acceptance. And if they can buy into that, it translates into a much better product. If they know that when they go into a house, that things that they report, that you say, hey, you got to report this, that it's going to be addressed.
Right.
And so all of that ties into the service that, one, they can provide, but two, that they know what's at the end of the tunnel, what's on the other side of the wall. And one of the biggest challenges in any department is to make sure everyone's speaking. Yeah. And if you use the wagon wheel as your example, you have to make sure everything's connected. And one of the things that we've really tried to do is to make sure that each department not only meets in and amongst themselves, but then also together, to have weekly meetings with the heads of each department to make sure that new homes coming on, all the information that's coming out of the top level is being passed all the way through. And the other piece I think is really important, kind of ties into that as well, is that they see the investment on both sides of the pendulum. For example, if on a busy Sunday, certain people are always in the office, they start to feel that there's a devaluation there. And so one of the things we've really tried to do is make sure that there are people working alongside of them. We'll pull people sometimes just for the experience, sometimes because you need the help.
Right, for sure.
But just to make sure that they know that there's an importance on them and how crucial it is to the overall success of the entire company. One of the hardest positions to fill is the head of housekeeping. And that translates down when you get people that establish relationships, know the homes, and to such a high detailed level. It's incredible.
Wow, amazing. Tough job,
Yeah,
housekeeping.
they do amazing.
They do. Final question for you
is
why is being a member of the Vacational Housekeeping Professionals Association important to you and your organization?
Well, I'm somewhat biased being on the board.
Yes, sir.
But prior to the board, one of the big things for me and for the organization as a whole was to find more information out, was to realize what other people were doing, both not only situationally, but also with products, structure, overall organization. Those are all things that are crucial. It's nice to have a community that deals with the same thing day in and day out. Right. Being able to establish those connections at the conferences have been huge. It's fun to visit different places. I love to travel, but it's also fun to sit down together and share a common bond just in the line of work that you're doing. And then you learn so much. There's so many resources available and so many people that are on both the board but also a part of the organization that then provides such a high level of information for everyone to share. The website's been very instrumental as well, some of the forum feeds, things like that. One thing for us has been huge has been products. What are people doing? What's both eco-friendly, what cleans? Where can you buy it? What's the best price? And ironically, at the end of the day, how do you get out certain things? Certain smells, for example.
Right.
And some of these people have gone through so many of these things, tenfold more than what we have. But it's great to be able to have the resource available to talk to them, and training along those lines as well, being certified. We just got our first certification for our inspectors, which has been great.
That's
So
right.
we're really excited about that, to be able to have an organization that can, one, deliver training, but two, deliver a certification for it is great. To be able to tell homeowners, to be able to show other staff. Today they were showing me their pins. Said, hey, look, I got my pin. So just kind of fun with that structure. But it's been very, very monumental in how we've structured our department, how we've structured our company, we've structured our service, and had just such an amazing level of help from people that are doing it from big companies to small that just have an eagerness to help those that are searching for answers. So the resources have been huge along those things.
Great, thank you. Aaron, thanks for your time today. And to you all, thank you for watching.